Good evening everybody and welcome to Inside Line Racing, and we are here for the first time ever in ILR4. It is Paul Ricard in France for the French Grand Prix, a new experience for the drivers. We've never raced here before, we've never commentated on it before in ILR4, so it should be interesting. I am your commentator Jess, and joining me alongside me once again like he did last week, it's Pete.
Thanks for having me again, once again back in the commentary box after a dreadful race in ILR6, so hopefully some interesting action comes to this Grand Prix here.
Yes indeed, we don't want to talk about it too much because we don't want to get you down, but I hope you enjoyed ILR5 and ILR6 that was on before us. So great racing, I've got to admit, for some other people, and I hope you're able to enjoy what to come from ILR4. So we're just following Nicolo, who was the first person to go out on a fly lap. He did pretty well last week, to be fair. There was quite a lot of people. I do see a few names that I don't recognise that are either reserve drivers or new full-time drivers. We have Whitberg 9, Tincan 394, and the main aspect Dash is the people I don't recognise. They are racing tonight for the very first time in ILR4, so wishing guys the best of luck. And it seems like most people are deciding to go on the Ultra Softs with quite a few on the Super Soft. Don't forget, the tyres we've got available today is the Ultras, Super Softs and the Softs. So it should be a very interesting strategy today.
It should be indeed. A lot of people I've seen in the two races before found it better to start on a set of Super Softs because the Ultra Softs will die off quite quickly. So it'll be a mixed strategy between these drivers. It's whether do you want the position on track if you go for the Ultra Softs, or do you want to just have the better tyre throughout the race starting on a set of Supers, because the one stop is possible on a set of Supers to Softs, but the Ultras you'll have to do a two stop.
Yes, I have noticed quite a few people did the two stops in ILR5 when I was watching, but yes, one stop is definitely possible if you get your time management right. As Nicolo is about to cross the line for his lap. What lap time is he going to set? Oh, he's got his lap time invalidated, I think. Yeah,
that's going to be a struggle with this kind of circuit.
Yeah.
I'm on board Mr. Sky right now, and he's just coming up right in the final corner. Whether his lap's valid or not, we'll soon find out.
Oh, he's got a red glitch. Yeah.
But he has set the quickest time of the qualifying session so far, 1:29.9, which is pretty quick.
That's decent. Just goes to show that the track is not rubbing in yet, but we could see some improving lap times. What was the fastest time in yours here?
It was only a 1:30.8, and that was a set of Ultras though, but so I'm sure there was a lot more time that could have been found in our tier, because a lot of the top drivers that started in the top 6 started on a set of Supers, so they went for tyre strategy rather than raw pace for qualifying.
Yeah, which does depend on the weather. Last week did bring out some challenges for the drivers, because it was, I do remember it was a transition race from a wet to dry, well, wet to winters to dry. So, and I do see, I think a few people, just said to me they have the compound glitch, which a few people had in both ILR5 and ILR6. So that's chill drives. So that's
I see in the comment section that chill drives mentioned that. So.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame due to the fact that I think he's leading the championship still, I believe, as far as I'm aware, or he might be close to leading the championship. We do have some good contenders in ILR4 already starting to emerge. I will get the standings up at some point just to let you know, but right now Mr. Sky is setting the benchmark for qualifying, but with the others I think we can see the time improve. Mr. Stim is on an out lap. He did very well last week, as far as I remember. From last to third, was it?
Yeah, I would have given him driver of the day last week, because he started in P19 and he managed to get himself a podium. So very well drive from him. Hopefully he can try and do better than he did last time in qualifying, but hopefully he can try and get the same result.
Yes, he is good with time management like he does in every race I see. In Azerbaijan he made the tyres last for a pretty long time, so that's his game at the moment, I think. And I think he's just going to mainly concentrate on the race, in my opinion, but I know he might want to get a good lap in. as we're starting to see more time starting to come into play, but we still got a few more to settle at the moment. I think everybody around the bottom end of the field is about to go on their out lap at the moment, with a few people still in the pit.
Roberto Mancini's just gone second with his first flying lap.
And so
just 10th shy of pole.
Ritson's in third with a 1:30.4. So top three separated by 5 tenths right now.
And that's all, and the top 4 are all on ultras. So
yes, and Trench Gun is the fastest person on the Super Softs with a 1:31. That's a pretty good time for the Super Softs.
And the position wise is pretty decent, because as long as no one else in front of him, or as long as no one else qualifies on a set of Super Softs quicker than him, he'll have the best chance in this race when it comes to tyre wear.
Exactly. Definitely start on the medium tyre available in the race to get yourself the best advantage. But if you can manage the ultras right, you could do it well. But you could start to see hunches. I think, in my opinion, France in the game is actually very nice to watch and to drive, but very challenging to get the track.
It's one of my favourite tracks to drive around in this game. So
yeah,
I've been trying to push it around this track, but obviously track limits might be a key as well, because there's a lot of places that people can corner cut. All it takes is you to turn in too early into a corner, and that's a penalty or a warning for you. Or in this case, in qualifying, it's a lap invalidation.
Yeah, we did see quite a few penalties from both tiers from quite a lot of people. Only a few people did not get penalties combined, so it is quite challenging to get a good lap in. As I think Chill Drive has just went a bit wide there, but I think he's on his out lap at the moment, or he might be just trying to warm his tyres up. So
top 9 are all back in the pits now, so whether they decide to go out again, I'm sure the people who are starting on ultra softs will probably go out again, but
yes,
do the people that are in like Y-Racer and Chopper that are on a set of supers, will they plan to do another lap?
I think so. But I don't be bothered to push the ultras too much, because don't forget, if they qualify in the top 10, they'll have to use it for the race. So
yeah, exactly. I think that's what happened with me, because I tried a set of ultras. I messed up sector 1, but then when I tried to go on a set of supers, I gained the time in sector 1, but then lost it all in the second 2 sectors. So I wasn't able to qualify on the hard compound, and I'd already done 2 runs on the ultras, so they were practically dead by the end of the first couple of laps. So
yes,
it's all about now time management on your in lap when you've completed a lap on a set of ultras.
Maybe only set a few laps on the ultras and possibly go onto a set of supers for your last few laps, just to make sure that you get some laps in. But it does depend on how you can manage it and how well you want to aim for either pole, the top 5, or even the top 10. Interestingly, the field is a bit more spread out this time. We're used to seeing times being very close. Last week was extremely close between the drivers. This week, so far, I think between 11th to 15th, they spread out about 2 or 3 seconds. So, but don't forget.
To be fair, I can see all of those drivers improving on their times.
Yeah, so we can see it shaping up to be a close one. But due to the fact that they haven't raced here before in a league race, it's their first experience. Strategy will be a bit new to them unless they did practice here before. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Who you think's going to get pole position in this race? We have quite a few people in the chat already. Hello, how you doing? Nice to see you. And like I said, depending on whichever tyre they're using, they may get the undercut done on some people as well. So when they pit is quite key around this track as well. As I think Huberto is going on an out lap at the moment, and so is Gab Pig. No, Gab Pig's still on his lap. But Rich, Trench Gun, and Asper is on an out lap. And we've got people in the bottom half setting their laps at the moment. With Coley, which I'm on board right now on a set of supers. And I think Whitberg is on a fresh set of ultras at the moment. So he hasn't set a lap time. I think someone else has just improved. I didn't see who.
Rebo Jeep just set 132.3.
That is pretty good.
In P12. It's a set of supers, so if you want to try and get through, you need to be in the top 10 if you want to have any advantage on a set of supers. Because if you start qualifying outside the top 10, you just get free choice of tyre.
Yes.
So if you want to have a big advantage in this,
Mr. Sky has improved his lap time by quite a margin, by 2 tenths, I believe, of 129.7.
yes, he has.
That is quick. I know ILR.
It's a good time from Sky.
I know the top 3 tiers which are higher than us will probably set quicker ones, but for this tier, pretty amazing. So great job for him. Can he be beaten? He hasn't taken pole this season, I don't think, as far as I'm aware, but so it could be.
Well, I'm riding on board now with Huberto Mancini. He's on a flyer now, so he's just come through the first sector.
Let's just.
So I'm going to keep on board with him onto the DRS straight.
Oh, he's slowing down. Is he slowing down?
He's got DRS open, so I don't think he is. Through the chicane, you can gain so much time by braking so much later into that chicane because you can just carry the speed through.
Yeah.
And now onto the fastest corner on the track. Full throttle through here.
Very crucial here. As he goes through the tight right-hander. Quite tricky about to get right on this circuit to stay in the track and not go into the blue lines or the red lines. Don't go into the red lines, that is where you lose a lot of grip on your tyres. As drivers found in real life, I've got to say. And as the advantage have got out across the last few corners, it's not going to be enough for Carl at the moment. No, he's going diving into the pits right now.
It must have been an outlap because he was using no ERS, I've just noted. So
no, and he was going slower than normal as well. He was not putting less pressure on the floor as he used to. Or maybe short shifting, I never know. But I think Trench Gun is about to go on a lap, looking pretty good at the moment. What lap time is he going to set?
I'm on board with him now.
He's P3.
P3.
That's good.
On a set of ultras as well, so it looks like the top 7 are definitely starting on a set of ultras.
Yeah, unless they can set a faster lap time on the softs, which is highly unlikely. Unless you.
They're going to have to be pushing so hard if they want to try and beat their lap times on a set of supers.
Yeah, and that wouldn't be too good if you do that. So, but if they're in the bottom, it doesn't matter what tire they start on. So if they know they're going to qualify lower down, it doesn't matter. They'll start on a fresh set of pair anyway. So it doesn't matter how.
It'll be interesting to see what the bottom 10 start on, because it's obviously the choice between the supers and the softs, but how many of them will decide to start on the hardest compound?
That'll be interesting to see as well, because I
And
think
then they'll run a long way into this race.
yeah, I've noticed in some league races a lot of the bottom have been a bit of mixed strategy regarding what tire they want to use. But I won't be surprised if most of them go on the hardest, well, not the hardest compound, but for the medium compound. But there may be one person doing a bit of a gamble and starting on the hardest, so starting on the softs. But that won't be the smartest option, because the hardest compound gives you less grip around the circuit. And it won't survive around turn 1 with loads of cars, I've got to say. But it will towards the end of the race, but not at the beginning.
Exactly.
So.
And they'll take a lot longer to heat up as well. So if they start on a set of softs and they're flying out throughout the formation, they're going to have to do a lot of work to heat them up.
Exactly. As Gab Pig was just on a lap, but he hasn't improved. We do have P2 and P4 at the moment. Staying on an outlap.
Tin Can on a lap, I think. Or he's about to start flyer. He's about to start flyer. Tin Can.
Oh, Tin Can.
Yeah.
In P6, filling in. I think he's filling in, or is he new? I'm not entirely sure. He's in the Force India tonight. Oh no, he's a reserve. He's replacing Cam for tonight. He's a reserve tonight. That was why I was a bit confused. But yeah, he's reserve. filling in. And Trench Gun has decided he can't go any faster, so he decided to take the risk and not settle that, which is a wise decision, I think. If you feel like you're not going to improve, don't bother using a bit more tyre, and it'll probably help you in the race. So good decision from him. But the lap times were pretty close anyway. That is inevitable.
Yeah. To be fair, it's going to take a monster of a lap of any of the other drivers to try and beat Mr. Sky's lap time.
Yeah, that was
because it's so far. It's got a 3/10 gap to P2, so a lot of time's going to have to be made.
To be honest, that was insane. Oh, Farber's gone. He's decided to follow Trench Gun's lead. We're still on board with Tin Can in the Force India. Looking good so far. Going through now the beginning of sector 3. There's a few times where he has broken a bit too early. Oh, he's looked up a bit in the penultimate corner. That didn't help him. Nope, he hasn't improved on this time.
I'm on board with Huberto Mancini. I'm not sure where he's setting a lap time. We'll soon find out. But it's it's dying seconds of this lap, so I think he's on a flyer.
Yeah, he's definitely on a flyer. He's definitely going way faster than what I've seen around about a lap ago, I think. So, yeah, he's on a flyer. He's using quite a lot of VRS at the moment. On his
and Joe in the Mercedes. Yeah, Joe in the other Mercedes has bagged himself P2.
Very close though. About 80,000 separated between Mr. Sky and Joe. So far, Mr. Sky going on top. I think the only person that can beat possibly the top two is Roberto.
Well, he's coming through the final sector now, so it's all about these final two corners. Can he keep it tight to the apex of the penultimate? He can indeed, up to the final corner. How's his exit? Pretty good.
Looking good.
Here we go.
Yellow flag in sector 3, that didn't help. Oh,
no improvement of position, but improvement of time, but not enough to secure himself into the top two on the front row of the grid.
He went from a 130 to a 129, that's pretty good. Let's see how
Ritson
crossed the line. I think
P4.
I think Wilberg's running out of
Chill Drive managed to bag himself P5. Great lap from him, 130.4 on a set of supers.
And despite the fact that he had the tyre compound glitch, that is pretty decent stuff.
I think he's going to be one to watch in this race now, starting on a set of supers in the top 5.
Yes, I don't think Wilberg is improving. Nope, he's not. So, there you have it then. Our pole man for today is Mr. Sky. So, well done to him. And Joe, of course, who came originally from ILR 5, is now in ILR 4 and is definitely showing what he's made of at this moment in time. And we are about to get onto our pole time results, qualifying results, what shall I say, as everyone starts to ready up. So, yeah, 86,000 separating between Sky and Joe. So, and we've got Huberto in 3rd, Ritson in 4th, Chill Drive in 5th. We've got Trench Gun in 6th, Wilberg in 7th, Gab Pig in 8th, Tin Can in 9th, Farber in 10th, Jay Carsey in 11th, Chopper 12th, Rich 13th, the main aspect 14th, Mr. Stim 15th, familiar territory where he is now, maybe he can make his way for the rest of the field, Brian Berry 16th, Collie 17th, Robo Jeep 18th, Ryan Racing 19th, and Nicolo the only person not to set a time in 20th place.
That's interesting from Nicolo, considering he was the first person out on track at the start of qualifying, and he's deciding to start from the back of the grid.
Very interesting there. And Chill Drive said he probably would have improved his lap even more, but he ruined the final sector. So that would have been a good lap, better lap from him and challenge for pole if he did mess up on that final sector. But it looks like it's going to be a dry race, which is probably a relief for the drivers, I've got to say, as all the crowd are in the grandstands ready to go for the first race of ILR4 in Paul Ricard, with many to come, I believe, for these guys. And I have a lot of opinions on who I think is going to get the win based on strategy, but it's not over on the first lap, so anything can happen. We've seen a few people in ILR4 this season start from pole, but then bottle it in the first few laps. And we really don't want to see that happen today. But they're all going to warm their tyres now. As Pete was saying, it's interesting to see what tyres the bottom 11 are starting on. Let's see. Yes, I called it.
Only one are starting on a set of softs.
No one said
No, that's smart though. No, I don't think anyone would want to start on a set of ultras because they just die off so quickly. Even if they are fresh, they'll only last about 5 or 6 laps.
Yes. So good call. So from P11 up till P17, and from P19 to P20, they're all starting on a set of super softs. And Robo's the only guy on the grid starting on a set of softs. So all 3 tyre compounds used today, which is good. I think the ones on the super soft will probably gain more of an advantage because they could do possibly a super soft to soft strategy. But the ones on the ultras will probably have to do an ultra soft to super soft, or ultra soft, super soft. I wonder.
Yeah, I don't think the strategy of the 2-stop will make people go on another set of ultras because I don't think there's that much of an advantage going on the softest compound for your second stint. I think it'll be sensible with all the top 4, 6th, 8th to 10th all start on the ultras.
Yes.
I think they'll all pit on around, well, without damage, around either 5 or 6, I think, and then switch on to, I think, a set of supers.
That's what I think anyway. As they're all starting to line up ready for the first race. As I think we've got a few people starting to go into their grid positions, fitting in.
What I found interesting, no one got disqualified.
Don't say that! There's probably going to be someone getting disqualified.
I meant from the grid.
No, I mean,
from the grid,
I know that. Oh, yeah, you were right. Good job to the drivers. First race in a long time that none of you have got disqualified. So 4 lights, 5 lights. The first race in Paul Ricard on ILR4 on the PS4, and away we go. And Mr. Sky's already off to a great start. He's already pulling away, but we got Joe not that far behind the two McLarens trying to hold the Mercedes off, but that didn't work out. The Renault's gained a position already, but
it's 3 wide.
3 wide going to turn 2, 4 wide. Pretty much. We've got the...
Keep it clean.
Yeah.
Jill drives up to P4. He's trying to hang it around the outside of Huberto. He's lost the position to his teammate, so hopefully he'll want to try and fight back. There's a little bit of contact between 4th to 6th and 7th. There's a Renault gone wide of Trench Gun. Hopefully he can bring it back on the track safely, but so far Mr. Sky's done a grand job keeping himself into P1, although Joe's going to try and round it outside.
But we have Whitberg. We have Whitberg was trying to make a move, but he couldn't make that stick, unfortunately. Decided to stay put. We already got some movement around the midfield as well. Chopper's gained a position on Mr. Stim already, so that is good for him. Whitberg trying to make another move on Huberto, but Huberto, nice clean line in on that apex and defends that very well. Because he's got to try and chase Chill Drive. But that'll probably help.
Now Wilbur's got Fastbow all over his gearbox, so all the attacking and Fastbow's going to try and move down the inside. They'll have the outside for this next corner, but they're still side by side coming into the final sector. Last 2 corners of this track. Fastbow has the inside, and I think that's move done. That is indeed.
Yep, nicely done from Farber, but Whitberg is under pressure from Gapig at the moment now as well. So they're both side by side going into turn 1. Is Wilberg going to be under pressure again? He can't afford to lose this position. He gets the position done for now. Oh, that was almost position lost for Farber. He's lost it. He's lost 2 positions. He lost it in front of Mercedes and the Red Bull. So,
Wilberg and Gapig were battling again, swabbling between positions. Renault's trying to get involved as well, Trench Gun on the inside of Fastbird. So a lot of battling going on down the bottom end of the top 10.
Yes, which makes life a little bit more interesting. The gap between the top 2 is 2 tenths at the moment. So that will
What Joe needs to do now is keep that gap there, because slipstream and DRS on the following lap will be so strong on that straight.
Yes. Wilberg has maintained P6, but is a bit too further back from Roberto to try and catch up. But we already see a train all the way down to P11. So the gaps are very, very close indeed. The only soft runner is
We've got a yellow flag in sector 3.
Oh, we
Why
have...
have we got a yellow flag in sector 3?
Oh,
I think that was Gav Pig ran wide, I think.
And Trench Gun.
It is Mr. Sky. Mr. Sky's got...
Oh no,
Mr. Sky's dropped down.
And I think I saw Tin
What has happened to him?
lose it as well in the Force India, which probably cost him. But I'm sorry we didn't catch it in the stream.
Damage.
We didn't catch it in the stream, but let's see what damage. No, he is going into the pits. I think I jinxed him. Oh, he's already dropping way down the order.
Joe's in the pits as well, so...
That must be a collision between Joe and Mr. Sky. Joe benefiting more than Mr. Sky. He's come out ahead of Mr. Sky.
And both of them have put on a set of super softs, so...
But they may have to pit again due to...
Oh, I think they definitely will have to pit again, but it depends on will they go on to another set of supers, or will they go on to a set of softs. Depends on what tyres they chose at the start of qualifying. So
yes,
they're gonna have to now try and push on, keep their heads, and just try and gain back the positions and keep the time to the leaders, because they could try and make an undercut work, but then their tyres will be dying out towards the end of their stint.
They've got to be careful.
Wilberg's got himself up into P2.
He's avoided the
He's
trouble.
overtaking Roberto.
He's avoided
Those super softs are coming into their own now.
Yep, his grip is paying off. He's gained, I think, the most positions out of everybody. Mr. Stim, gained position man, has already gained quite a lot as well from starting 15th. Oh! That was Ritson.
Ritson's round. Ritson is round.
And I think someone else is round as well. It might be Gab Pig. No, it's not Gab Pig. Oh, Gab Pig's in the pit
now.
Ritson will probably go in.
Ritson's in the pit. He's going to have his front wing change. There's a fair bit of damage on his end plate.
Already loads of carnage already, and it's lap 4. But it just goes to show tyre temperature comes into a mind of its own. So that means Whitberg's in the lead. So starting from 7.
P7, yeah.
So I think
I think the person who's gained the most is Nicolo. He started at the back of this grid and is now in P7.
So his decision to not go, well, he may have done a lap and then decided, nah, start from the back. Maybe he might be doing a last to first. You never know.
Fast Burst made a move on Roberto Mancini up into P2 now. So those ultra softs of Roberto's are starting to fall away. Although Fast Burst's on a set of ultras as well, so I think it's just going to be which one of them dives into the pit first.
Yes. Which strategy will work the best? Chill Drive is up into P4. He's gained 1 position. And interestingly, I think Mr. Stim has gained 9, and so has Main Aspect as well. So both of them doing very well. Pretty much the top 11 have gained, well, the top 12 now have gained the most out of everyone. But Roberto luckily has stayed where he is. But his teammate has been unlucky all of a sudden.
We've got yellow in sector 2 and Trench Gun is out.
I didn't see what happened. Did you see what happened?
I have not seen, but I'm on board with Wilberg. Hopefully his car still stays there unless it fades away before we get round. But
I think
from the looks of things, could he have lost it on the exit onto the DRS straight? Because that's where it catches people out sometimes. So
it does.
Could he have lost it there?
There's not many walls really. It's quite further away, so it's just possibly losing the back end at a few places, or braking a bit too late in one of the braking zones. But the top,
I think his car might have disappeared already.
Yeah, it already has. So we didn't see what happened there. But who would have called this position after lap 5? Let us know in the comments below.
Got Y Racer making a move on Ryan Berry up to P8. So he's managed to game himself from, I think it was like P17, P18 to get himself down to the top 8.
Positions now.
Yeah, P19 is now in P8. Great drive from Y Racer.
So definitely another. Oh, and he's going to gain another move, maybe.
No, Ryan Berry's trying it round the outside. Will Joy hang him out to drive, or he holds on? But now Ryan Berry's under pressure from the Red Bull of Curly, who's also under pressure from Chopper in the Ferrari. So it could be a four-way battle for P8 here.
That'll be insane. Ryan Racers definitely have good race pace around here, I can tell you that. And yeah, definitely top 12, doing amazingly well. All have gained a massive amount.
Corley's made the move, which means Ryan Berry's had a dreadful exit out the final corner. He's lost 2 positions just coming down this straight, but he is going to have the inside into turn 1. Will he be able to hold it up there?
Don't think
and
so.
he decides to back off. Sensible play there, but he's now outside the top 10.
Yes, he is. But Gappy just in the fastest lap, which is a pretty good, decent lap for him. I want to say
a fresh set of supers for him. Yeah.
I did see Joe set the fastest lap before.
He has jumped Mr. Sky, but obviously Mr. Sky had a spin. So now Mr. Sky's got a time penalty. That's not going to help him.
I did see in ILR5 someone gained penalties up to 30 seconds. I was surprised that none of them got disqualified due to that.
Yeah. Jay Carter and Nicola are battling. Nicola's just got himself a penalty, but he's already lost a position to Jay Carter.
Yes. He's on the back of Jay Carter though. Going into.
And Mr. Stim's right on the back of the main aspect. So the two Haas drivers not driving too badly for themselves. Hopefully they can get themselves a double points finish out of this race.
That'll be decent. Oh, Mr. Stim's going to try and make a move. He doesn't. He stays put. I'm on board with Nicola at the moment.
He was very close to contact to the back of the. It was very close to contact to the back of the Renault there.
He was.
I don't think there was any damage, but he's backing off, shaping him up, see if he can get him either on this DRS straight or the second DRS straight. But Farfur's finally pit. He's stretched those ultras.
Ultras? Yeah, it was ultras. One of the first ultras to go into the pit. Let me just get the telemetry up actually. Oh, Mr. Stim! Oh, it was
and he's put himself.
Good. Oh, right! Oh, Y-Racer! Y-Racer almost made the move stick on Nicolo, but
I'm on board now.
And also the other Ferrari of Chopper is joining in the party as well. This could be interesting. A Ferrari sandwich.
And Mr. Stim and the main aspect are going to be going side by side down the DRS straight. Mr. Stim with the DRS, will he be able? He's going to be given the inside. Ooh. Can he hold it? Oh, it's tight.
And the other Haas make it through. The other Haas is not that far behind either. Of Jay Carty, so they're trying to catch up. Maybe Jay Carty will help his teammate out, or will he not? We'll see. But
Mr. Stim's going to go move up the inside.
Oh, that was almost contact. Right. That was almost contact. That might have been.
Main aspect has just ran a little bit wider, but Mr. Stim is now in P3.
Similar position to what he was last race. Started from about 14th and he came home in P3. So this could.
And now the other Haas is going to have a piece of the Renault.
And
up the inside. So it's going to be 3 wide. Y-Racer wants to join the party as well. Oh, and the contact between the Renault and the Haas. Y-Racer's benefit the most. Well, hopefully it won't be 3. It's going to be 3 wide.
And there's going to be 4 wide. 1 wide. This is not going to end well.
Y-Racer on the outside, and the main aspect holds on to P4. Y-Racer P5 and Chopper in P6. All sensibly getting through that cleanly.
That is decent stuff. They must have had a lot of practice.
And Chopper and Y-Racer side by side as well. They're still battling Ferrari and the Toro Rosso.
And the Hasses as well. With 5 wide soon.
Jay Carty's dropped some positions, but he's going to try and fight back. It's going to be on the back of Y-Racer now, but all of these drivers are all going to have DRS except for main aspect. So essentially it's just going to go on slipstream. Y-Racer's going to cover the inside. Y-Racer's got the inside. And Jay Carty tries to hold it on the outside, but doesn't work. Does he get a bad exit? he's now got pressure from Curly behind in the Red Bull.
Yes, this could be interesting. I never seen battles go like this in France in my life. I wish
Curly's
it was like
got the inside.
like, oh, the Haas almost went a bit wide there into the blue bit.
And he's lost the position. He's lost quite a few positions. His teammate Mr. Sims benefited up to P3 and he's dropped all the way down to P8.
So that's probably cost him a little bit of time in my opinion, but so far Y Racer has gained the most. And he's in 6th, but he could be on for another position gain if he goes past Chopper. And main aspect.
Yeah, but Chopper's going to have the slipstream and DRS as the main aspect front. So it's going to be who dares wins in this kind of Grand Prix.
Pretty much.
Do you go? Chopper's going to try and make a move into turn 4, is he? No, he thinks better of it. He's going to try and line him up, I think, on the next DRS straight.
Yeah. There are times where he can do it, but it's some corners very tricky to overtake in France. So whoever designed this in the game, props to them because its track on the game is pretty darn cool. I don't like it in real life, but I absolutely love it in the game. But Tin Can, 3-second time penalty, not looking good for him, but I think the Ferrari of Chopper almost got the slipstream, but he had to stay where he is. Valberg getting another penalty. A lot of penalties today. Oh, ever so close between Chopper and main aspect going into the...
Oh, and there's been a collision between Farthberg and Huberto Mancini. I just caught the end of that. Both of them were going side by side and Farthberg's clipped him and Huberto's been spun out into the bar.
And he's out. And he's out as well.
He is out.
I didn't see that, unfortunately. Oh, and the Ferrari and the Renault are fighting side by side. And I think the Ferrari went a little bit wide.
Shoved him out wide.
Yeah. And Farber's retired.
Yeah, I think Farber's retired. I think he's made a mistake and he doesn't want to benefit by getting any points out of this race. So that will probably go to the stewards at the end of this Grand Prix.
It could be some serious implications, but what's going to happen?
Chopper's making a move around the outside of turn 1. You can't do it there, can you? No, he tried to switch back on turn 2. No, Renault's still in front, but Renault runs wide and now Chopper's got a better run. Coley wants a piece of the action as well in Red Bull in P6.
Coley must
have got the inside, then the outside.
Coley must have overtaken Y Racer for a minute there.
Open between P4 all the way down to P8. So, but Y Racer's got the better run on Coley, I think. Around the outside. All of these cars have got. Rich wants a piece of the action as well in P9.
Wow. Rich is having a very good race, to be honest, by the looks of things. But it's all about main aspect and Chopper now. Is Chopper going to do it? Nope, he's not. You have Y Racer just gaining position on Coley for a minute there. So those battles starting to shape up as we're going towards the pit window. Going into this, as we can see, probably a lot of the supers coming in soon. Very tight exit from the Ferrari. So we shall see what happens there. Coley's catching up as well as Jay Carty. But so already the Mercedes or Weberg.
Chopper's pit. He wants to cut on this train. He wants to bang on the main aspect, so he's going to come in now. He's putting on. He's set on softs, so he'll be going to the end.
Yep, by the looks of things. So making the gamble. Joe's in the pits again. Maybe his soft tyres didn't have as much grip. Well, supers. And he's going on the Seb softs, which will definitely go to the end, I think, now.
Yeah. So, Nick. Interestingly, 83 laps in the first set of ultras.
Very interesting. As all Y Racer's going to make a move on the Renault. Can he do it? Looks like he has. Very, very tight.
He has, but main aspect tried to cut back and he's got himself a penalty for cutting the corner.
Oh, that costed him, and he had to concede position to Y Racer. which he did, which was very brave. But he's now under pressure from Cody now. What is he going to try and do? But the Renault's not giving up in the slightest on Racer. This is insane right now from these guys. We've seen battle after battle every lap. There hasn't been a lap when there has been any action. It's been very close between the midfield especially. But in the lead. And Widberg, 5 seconds stop go. Speeding in the pit lane. Oh, that's costed him. That's going to cost him. And we have Main Aspect and Racer in the pits now. Maybe they could be in the top 3.
Widberg's on a set of soft.
Main Aspect.
All these people that are on the set of super.
Another 5 second stop go from the Main Aspect for collision in the pit lane with Racer. Probably a bit of a mistake, I think. But as everyone is starting to pit now,
it's one of the most weirdest pit entries on the F1 calendar, I think.
Yeah, it is very weird to be honest.
It's literally a straight right 90-degree into the pits, and very short entry as well.
Yes, indeed. As Joe has got another penalty, we have seen a lot of penalties from these drivers. I think pretty much nearly everyone has got a penalty this race so far. I think I haven't seen anyone without a penalty. So.
Well, one thing that I can do, I can have a little cheeky look.
Yes, you can. So I can't because.
Well, I was gonna have a cheeky look, but it won't let me past lap 2 for some reason.
Oh, that's odd. We'll just have to find out towards the end of the race.
Niccolo grabs himself another penalty.
We're on lap 12 now. Let's see who has pitted out of everyone. So, the top 4 haven't pitted, which is Mr. Stim, Cody, Jay Carty and Rich. Ryan and Robo haven't pitted either. Everyone else has pitted. So out of the guys who have pitted, Gab Pig is our net leader. But Coley is in the pit.
I think he'll have to pit again. Gab Pig, I think, will have to pit again.
Yeah, he would.
He's on 9-lap-old supers.
Mr. Stim, another penalty. What is with these drivers today?
That's not going to help him.
Literally everyone is going on a set of softs right now. There's only a few people on a set of super softs. So I think the
only person that I think would come on a set of super softs after the pit right now would be RoboG, because he started on a set of softs. So
yes, he's been on those softs for pretty much the whole race now.
We've got Chill Drive and Racer going side by side out of turn 2. Racer trying to hold it up the inside, doesn't make it work. I think he just lost a position on the main straight to Chill Drive. So
yeah, he did, unfortunately, which was a shame.
It's going to be a battle now, because I believe
Coley
that Webergel is our net leader after everyone makes their first stop. Niccolo will have to go again. Chill Drive will be in P2 and Racer will be in P3. Well, we'll see how long he is going to be, because Joe is right behind him.
Interestingly, Niccolo on a set of ultra softs, but he's dropped way down the order now.
No, he's spun. I think he's spun. He's just lost a lot of positions. I've just saw him trundling down the order.
I just saw a car
and he's now down in P15.
I just saw a car just went off, but it might have been my... Yeah, but he's definitely lost it. He will definitely have to pit again anyway, because he's on a set of ultras. But he's been on it for 5 laps.
Mr. Stim in the pit.
And Mr. Stim's in the pit. I thought Gab Pig was in the pit. But he's going to go on a set of softs, I believe. Yes, he is. Going to the end of the race. Where is he going to end up? Robo Jeep is about to cross the line, but it probably won't affect him.
We've got Wilberg trying to make a move up the inside of the McLaren of Ritson.
Oh, they're side by... Oh, they're not side by side. But where does Mr. Stim come? He comes just behind Racer.
Yeah, in P8. So what I think Wilberg should do now is take his time, make the move as easy as possible for himself, because he needs to realise that Ritson needs to pit and he doesn't want any damage, because he'll be net leader of this Grand Prix.
Yes.
Although they are tackling each other across the circuit here, but I think the move should be done now. He's on the outside, he's got DRS. Will Ritson fight it? I don't think he will, and that'll be Weber up into currently P2, but it'll be net P1.
Well done to him. As I think Ryan Racer is battling with Joe at the moment. Joe's gained quite a lot of positions since his incident in lap 1 and 2, so he's doing quite well at the moment in P7. Because obviously he was way down the bottom of the field once he had that incident, so he's doing a Hamilton recovery drive at the moment. Can he gain more positions between him and Ryan Racer? We'll see. He's not that far behind him. We've got Chopper on the action as well, right behind. I think he's just passed Tin Can in the Force India.
He has indeed. So he's back into the top 10.
Oh, someone said, oh no, someone just left the session, but there was the one who retired, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, you haven't missed any retirements. Oh, Ryan
White Racer's got a bad exit. A really bad exit off the final corner. He's literally gifted Joe P6.
Yeah.
So can he keep up with him now? Because Joe, I think, has got the pace to pull away.
Who knows? We shall see.
Or can Ryan Racer's teammate of Jeep park the bus and hold him up?
You never know. But don't forget, RoboJeep
Could
is still
there be their tactics in there? Oh, but Joe's going to try and make a move up the inside. Oh, it's contact.
Oh,
White Racer's gone for a spin.
Oh, it's RoboJeep.
He is not. Oh, not White Racer. Yeah, RoboJeep's gone for a spin. He's not going to be very happy with that.
He has to pit. He has to pit next lap. He's got to. It's his tyres is probably going to be high temperature right now. So.
Yeah, and he was actually having a driver's like RoboJeep up in the top 5, and that goes and happens.
Yep, unfortunately, that's part of racing, unfortunately. Just goes to show how difficult that track is in this game to drive. But it is fun, but it is difficult. And we do have the Renault.
I think Joe clipped his rear though. I think Joe tried to make a move up the inside and tapped his rear. So that could go to the stewards. We'll soon find out.
We shall see. Oh, Ryan Barrier almost made the move done on main aspect. Yes, he has done it. Nice move from him. But can main aspect do the strip back? No, he can't. So we see where he is. Gab Pit in the pit again.
Yeah, he had to come in for another stop. So.
Oh yeah, he has.
He was one of the drivers on a 2-stop, so he had to come in again. But he is going to be on the quicker tyre on the first couple of laps. So.
Yes.
He could gain a few positions, get himself back into the points.
Main aspect. Oh!
It's gone. Main aspect's gone.
I didn't see what happened there because it didn't look like he did anything on my screen.
Where has he gone? I think he's crashed in the pits.
He must have crashed in the pits. So in my screen, he's still in the pits.
Can't see him.
Nope.
Unless he retired from the pit. Unless he retired while in the pit.
He was in the pits and then he just went. So it must have been a pit glitch of some sort.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's both the Renaults out.
Hopefully we can get some clarification on what happened because I thought he was just going into the pits. And I didn't.
Oh, and Joe and White Racer are trying to have it side by side. White Racer holds on to P4. Will Joe try and get a clean move on the other tyre also?
Also, Chill Drive's made the move on Ritson when I was on board when he's now up into P2. So, great move from
They're side by side. Joe and White Racer are side by side through the long right-hander. Joe's done it round the outside. And will he be able to pull away? Oh, White Racer's run wide. Now he's going to be under pressure from Mr. Stin. I just had a mare because my TV was trying to turn off, but we're still keeping the flow going.
Hang in there.
Chopper's trying around the outside of Mr. Stin.
Oh.
There's an absolute train now. 4 cars behind Joe now for P3, but Joe's trying to pull away.
This could be another 4-wide battle here going into turn 2 almost, but yeah, Rye Racer is definitely pulling. No, not Rye Racer. Joe.
He's struggling. I think Rye Racer is struggling a little.
Yes,
Stin's got up the inside quite easily.
Oh, contact from Chopper and Rye Racer, just a little bit anyway, not a lot.
I saw him run wide, so must have been something there.
I did hear a little bit of contact, but not a lot, so it didn't cost him that much though. But yeah, Rye Racer is definitely struggling at the moment. He was flying at the early parts of this Grand Prix, and now he seems to be losing a bit more time, so I'm a bit worried for Rye Racer, you know.
whether his tyre temperature is on. But what you have to remember is both these guys. Well, I think Jay Carty is on 1 lap pressure, but Chopper is on 1 lap older. But Chopper's got himself another penalty.
He got the move, but is it a legal move? I don't know. But he's got the move done anyway.
Hopefully he didn't get given an illegal overtake, because that could cost him even more time.
But Joe is having a good recovery. Yeah, Joe's definitely reminding me of Lewis Hamilton right now. Of the way he's driving from at the bottom. Well, actually Bottas actually, because Bottas had a similar spin in real life. And oh, Chopper's going to make a move on Mr. Sting going into turn 1. Is he going to try and make the move around the inside? Yes, he does.
He's run wide. Mr. Sim's going to have a better exit, but I think he's going to hold on.
Yep, he holds on very well, actually. Well done to Chopper, but Mr. Sim is not having none of that. He's like, no, mister, you're not having P4 that easily. And he just got the move done like that. Oh, and
no,
Chopper's
don't be
gone
trying
wide.
it down the outside off the track. Oh, and there's contact.
He almost,
he almost
hit Y-Racer. He almost hit Y-Racer, unfortunately. So,
and Y-Racer's dropped back down to P7 now. No. But he's going to be running side by side with the Haas driver of Jay Carty.
Jay Carty will definitely be helping his teammate in this situation. As Jay Carty...
Yeah, wingman deployed, Mr. Stim.
Jay Carty defends that very well and still retains P6. Right now, battle of the lead hasn't changed. Right now, as the super soft strategy to soft strategy for Wilberg has definitely paid off for him. He's avoided the carnage, and now look where he is. He's in a comfortable position, leading the race. But can Chill Drive gain the time he needs to challenge him in the final few laps?
Because if Chill Drive gets that down to less than 3 seconds, all it's going to take is 1 penalty difference between the 2 drivers, and Chill Drive could bag himself a victory.
Yes. Don't forget, Wilberg has got a penalty. I think he's only got 1 penalty, 3 seconds. Chill Drive's probably got 1 as well, so they're on even Stevens, if that makes sense. And I think a few people have got to set their stop goes.
Chopper's making a move up the inside of Mr. Stim. I think he's got the move done. He has indeed.
P4.
Can he hold on to it now?
Ritz has set the fastest lap on a set of supers. He's not doing very well position-wise now, but he just wants to get glory of fastest lap.
He wants to... well, he was on 2-stop strategy, so he's going to be flying till the end of this race. So see if he can grab himself a couple of points, because P12's not good enough. See if he can grab himself up into the top 10.
Interestingly, Chopper is very low on ERS. He's on 3% right now.
He's going to have to do some saving.
He is. He has to. He's dropping down. He was on ERS mode 5, which is a mode you usually use in qualifying. So that was very risky.
Mr. Stim's got 36%. Not doing too badly, and Jay Carty's got 6%. Out of the 3, Jay Carty looks like he's going to be pushing a bit more on the ERS.
He's going to push it a bit more to get it done. We're having a problem with your mic there. So whilst that's fixed, we'll try and see there's more action for Jay Carty. Will Jay Carty battle with his teammate, or will he hold on position to try and defend off Y-Racer? We shall see. I wonder what the pit wall of the Haas will be thinking right now. They don't usually use team orders. So...
well, hopefully... am I back?
Yes, you are back.
Perfect. Because hopefully they can bag themselves 2 points positions rather than 0, because if they start battling side by side and with a bit of contact, it could destroy both their races.
Yes, and we don't want that to happen. As Timber Can has got another time penalty. Chill Driver's got the gap down, like has gained 1 second at that. It was 3 point something seconds before. Now it's 2.3.
He's pushing now.
He's definitely pushing. They're on the same length of tyres, well, the same freshness, if that makes sense. But who is going to hold on to the end on those set of softs? Joe, I don't think he's going to have time to catch up, because A, he's got a bigger gap, and B, He's on newer tyres. Oh, we do have a battle with, Gab Pig, I think, had a bit of an issue with the bollard or something like that. But he's still...
I don't think he's got damage, but he is flying. He's right on the back of Wire Race now. I think Wire Race is struggling. He is indeed. He's ran wide. Now Gab Pig's going to try it round the outside into the penultimate corner. I think better of it. I think he's going to hold off now. He's going to wait till the DRS slipstream into turn 1.
Yes, he is. His DRS is about to happen right now. Yes, he shows that his DRS wing is open now. Takes the same line as Rye Racer does. Then takes the outside line.
He's going to have the inside. And I don't think Y Racer is going to fight it.
Nope, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
Gab Pig up into 7th. Nicolo's...
Can he catch Mr. Stim now? There's only 1.5 second gap.
Rich is doing very well, but the other Red Bull's having a fight.
He's battling with Cody there. Them two are side by side.
That is pretty decent stuff from the Power Dome.
Rich has come out on top, holding on to P9. Both of them on the same strategy of tyres as well. So
it's good to see Williams in the game doing well. Obviously, we just heard in real life that Kubica is going to partner Russell in real life in 2019, which I think is going to be quite a strong pairing. So hopefully the Williams will do well in real life and in ILR as well. Unfortunately, Mr. Sky having a very poor race starting from pole. So, which I probably jinxed, I'm sorry. But Robo Jeep is having an interesting race as well, because he's way down the order. Probably not the best idea to start on the softs. That's probably what cost him a little bit, I think. But
I think it was the incident they had just before his pit stop.
Yeah.
If that hadn't happened, I think he'd been right in here in the mix of this Grand Prix. But unfortunately for him, I don't think there's going to be any points. He's battling with Nicolo for basically dead last.
Yeah, he's battling not to be last, basically. Chill Driver's got the gap down now to 1.7, so the battle for the race lead, it's not over yet.
It could be going all the way to the end, just for the win of this Grand Prix.
This is, if you're just watching this, you're in for a cracker of a last few laps. I can tell you that right now. Don't forget to check ILR3 as well and have that stream on at the same time, because that race is going on exactly at the same time. See how they're getting on? They started roughly at the same time as us, so they'll probably be on a similar lap time as Coley. I think has got the move done on Rich. Yes, he has.
Yeah. Oh well, just got another penalty. Oh, here we go. It could be down to penalties. We don't know.
Let me just.
We know the Chill Drive won.
Let me just have a quick check of penalties, actually. If I quickly do this. Let me go on Race Director, actually. As Chill Drive got... nope, that's drivers, my bad. Let's see how many penalties Chill Drive has got. There's quite a lot of penalties.
He's got
a few warnings.
He's got at least one. He got one on lap 13, but I can't get any further than lap 13. So
he's got a lot of warnings. Oh, he got lap 11 as well. So he got 3 seconds on lap 11, and he got 3 seconds. So he got 6 seconds. So
I know Wheelbabe's got at least 3.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened to everyone else, but we shall see. So you guys were able to see quickly how much penalties people have got, and believe me, after looking at that, there's already quite a lot of penalties already. Literally everyone has got one. Everyone that's racing at the moment has got one. I'll be a bit surprised if no one has got one. If someone hasn't got any, so.
Gav Pig's got a run on Mr. Stim. The only battle I think is happening on track right now for P5. Gav Pig's going to try and hold it around the outside. Mr. Stim covers the inside. Going up to the chicane, and Mr. Stim holds on. But it's not over yet, because Jay Kite is trying to join the party, but Mr. Stim's teammate in the other has. So it could be a three-way battle just for P5.
That could be pretty intense, I can tell you that right now. Penalties are definitely flying at the moment. I think probably people are exceeding track limits at the same corner, the same sector. So maybe they're finding some elements of the track very tricky on this circuit. I find it quite tricky as well.
It tends to be, sometimes you can get a warning on turn 1 and 2, because if you have a wide line in turn 1 and try and switch into turn 2, you can either cut the corner, or if you have a bad exit, you can run wide and get a warning.
Indeed you do. As Jay Carty's now still on the back of Gab Pig.
Ritson's made the move on Coley, P9, he's on the recovery drive, as I said. He's now only a second behind Wire Racer, so he could catch him at the end of this race. He's on a softer set of tyres, but it's going to go down to tyre wear and temperature. Wire Racer runs wide, he gets another penalty.
Wire Racer, I think it's his third or fourth penalty, I think, at the moment, so not the best for him, but I think this is a race where it can be decided on penalties. I haven't seen if Joe's got a penalty, but I think he's a bit too further back from both Childrive and Wilberg.
Yeah, 9 seconds is the gap, but Gav Pig's on the back of Mr. Stim once again.
Childrive's got another penalty!
He did, I just saw that flick up before Nico, so...
Joe could get P2. Joe could get P2 of this race. It can be possible. But that means then, Wyberg is definitely probably going to gain the win, unless anything bad happens. But we're still...
Joe, if he gets that gap under 9 seconds and doesn't have a penalty, he could grab himself P2.
He has got a penalty, Joe.
He does, so...
I think only one, I think.
So all it takes is... So it looks like it's going to be a set podium then. Yeah. Unless you're try and fight back, but it's starting to fall away now. Gap's 2.1. I think the closest it was like 1.7.
Yeah. As the battle still going on for P6 then, as Mr. Sim is going to try and see if he can defend off Gabpig. Gabpig's now up into P5. Mr. Sim's going to fight for his life here. He's doing ever so well to try and gain some positions. But well done to people that have been holding on to the softs for quite a long time. Those tyres are starting to wear out a little bit now, so the question is, don't push too much on these final few laps if the gap is nowhere near to try and catch people.
Yeah, the people that are on the oldest set of tyres are, well, Mr. Sky's on the oldest set of tyres, but
15.
he's in P14.
Yeah.
But Joe and Chopper are on 14 lap old softs.
Yes, indeed. As Gabpig's already pulling away from Mr. Stim, so that has helped Gabpig massively on the set of supers right now.
Now will Jay Carty try and snatch away P6 from Mr. Stim?
We shall see, or will they be working together? We'll have to find out soon. Okay, Jay Carty doesn't seem to be challenging. Another penalty! Right, that's definitely P2 for Joe right now. That is definitely P2, no matter what. I think Joe's only got one penalty. Childrive's got loads. So...
And Verbo Jeep's given up. He's had enough.
It's like, yep, that's it.
He's now in last. He's had a dinosaur of a race, and he's had enough. He didn't want to cross the finish line. He didn't want to finish last, so he's retired from this race.
Which is a bit of a shame, I've got to say. But Nicolo is just proving to us. I think he's pitted again, I believe. But he's
Gabpig's got a penalty.
Nicolo, I like Nicolo's strategy because he is showing them the mantra to not give up. Even though he's
that was
way
my
behind.
tactic in season 3 in ILR4 was my first league race, and I never, even though I was plumb last for quite a bit of it, I never quit because I managed to get myself some points from people non-finishing furthering up.
There was a league race where I got points, even though I was last to begin with. I got points due to the fact a lot of people in front of me made mistakes and I gained a lot of positions. So that's why it's important to just get your head in the game, and if someone makes a mistake, you can be the one that benefits from it if you stay where you are.
Yeah. Now we're on to the final lap of this Grand Prix now.
This is definitely going to be decided on penalties.
Rubix looks to like he's going to be holding on to P1, considering Childrive's got a mountain of penalties, and Joe's further behind. Even if Wilberg had 3 penalties, he wouldn't be able to snatch the victory.
He's got to be careful now. He can't be too complacent. He has to stay on the track. He can't afford to get any multiple warnings or anything like that. He's just got to take it easy in these last couple of sectors. So I think that's what he's doing. He is lowering the ERS as well.
Bring it home. Bring it home for Mercedes.
Just like in eSports, of course, they took the double, just like in real life as well. So will they do it? Will they win the race here? We shall see. Most likely.
Jay Carter was shaping a move on Mr. Stim then. That was a bit odd. I was like, are you really going to try and overtake your teammate? Although Y-Racer and Ritson are fighting behind in P8 and P9.
That could be pretty intense, I've got to say. But let's concentrate on our race leader then, who has done a phenomenal job. He was the one who started way down the field but avoided the carnage, and that's got him to where he is now. A win on his debut as an ILR driver. He's reserve. I think it's the second week in a row when reserve has actually won a race. Chill Drive, I think, holds on to P2. Yes, he does. No, but Joe has dropped.
The Chopper's got P3. Joe had multiple penalties.
It must have been Joe's got more penalties than Chill Drive, but I don't know.
And Gav Pig's dropped down to P7 because of penalties. Mr. Stim and Jay Carter get himself P5 and P6.
Y-Race has dropped down as well. Rich
in P8. Y-Race, no, what has gone on there? It's jumped. Y-Race for P9.
Cody P10.
Cody in P10.
And Mr. Sky is going to be the last across the finish line. Well, the race that could have been.
On pole, he won't be happy. He won't be happy with that.
A race that could have been, unfortunately, no, he wouldn't be very happy with that. But luckily, no other major issues on this track. I was a bit sceptical, I've got to say, because it's the first time that we've done a league race here, but it has not disappointed here. Mercedes dominating once again, but this time in the likes of the reserve driver of Wilberg. I think his real name is Ben, so he'll be very happy with that. He probably wasn't expecting a win, so well done to him.
What a way to start your league racing in ILR.
Never know, if someone if someone resigns, maybe he could gain a full-time spot. We'll see.
Oh no, blow the screen now of penalties.
No, it's Alex. It's Alex, not Ben. My bad. Well, my word. I think everybody's got penalties.
Did everyone? Let's have a look.
Yep, everybody's got penalties. Except
Huberto Mancini, but he finished in P19 and out of the race. So
I've never been in a race where everybody has got penalties of some sort or have caused any trouble. But yeah, massive well done to Chill Drive. Get up for being in a lot of trouble throughout the race and up into P2. And well done to Joe as well for being in P4. So I'd say my drive of the day for that recovery drive has got to go to either Wilberg or Chill Drive. I got to say.
Yeah, I think I can agree with you on that. Because Wilberg's done well to avoid the carnage and find his way through, started on the set of supers and made the one-stop work.
Speaking of that, should we try and get these guys for? Because I forgot last week, and I'm determined not to forget this week. Interviews. So, if I have to stay on this screen, unfortunately, because I don't have another screen. So we'll just wait for it to load up, and then we can get inviting. So excuse me a minute whilst I. Oh, what is happening to my thing right now? It's not letting me. There we go. So just give us a moment. In the chat, guys, who do you think is your driver of the day? I am definitely gonna see if we can get in touch with our winner anyway. But We shall see. Do you have our P3 man?
Chopper, I don't think so.
Okay. Let me see if I can add Chopper then. Chopper. Just excuse me a minute, guys, whilst this happens. So if I add him as well. And then I could... Right, I've added them as friends. Let's see if we can add them to the party now. Just give me a second. So we got Chill Drive. Oh, I can't.
Wilberg and Joe.
I can't seem to find Wilberg, even though I've added him. So if they're listening to the stream, I may just give them a heads up. Welcome to ILR, where a lot of things are happening, trying to get people in the comment box for interviews. We'll just give it a few moments. No, I have, well, Chopper anyway. Where is Weiberg? I can't seem to find him. So let's just get Chill Drive and Chopper. And then if Alex wants to join, he can. No, I don't want to delete. Go away. Why is it not letting me? Oh, there we go. Took me a while. So I'll see if I can invite Alex in the chat in a minute. Oh, you said give me 25 seconds. But we do have our P2 man.
Drive.
We do have our P2 man, Mr. Chill Drive. Are you there?
Yep.
What a recovery drive from you, man. After all that trouble that you've had during the race, tell us how you feel to get P2 today.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I think it was like lap 3 or something. Mister spun on the track and just came back onto the track, and I couldn't avoid him. So I had half a front wing for the entire stint. So I had to change that at the pit stop, and then I got put behind Wileberg, and I couldn't just catch up enough in the end.
Oh, that was a bit of a shame, but you did manage to play a very good strategy. What was your strategy today into making sure you gain positions?
Just qualify on the super softs and go for the one stop, really.
Yeah, that's what most
You
people
did say
do.
that you were struggling with a tyre glitch, didn't you, at the start of qualifying?
Yeah, I selected the harder compounds, but it gave me the middle one, so I didn't get the softs.
Yeah, it does that a lot. It can be quite annoying, because if you want the extra set of hards for the race.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is quite difficult, I've got to say, to hold on to it. Was France a track that you needed to practice because it was new, or were you okay with this track beforehand?
I think it's one of the best feeling tracks for me, at least on the game. It just flows really well. I've had quite a bit of practice going into it, yeah, because after last week where I pretty much got knocked off the podium, possibly a win because of a crash, I needed a good recovery here.
And you seem to do that very well, so well done to you. I do believe the next race will be Austria next week. What are your plans going into this? You seem to be doing very well in the championship. What are you going to do to try and hold on?
Hopefully just keep getting podiums and go from there.
Yeah, because I think the people that keep getting wins at the moment is luckily not your championship rivals, but reserves. So
yeah.
You seem to be alright with that. Whilst whilst I try and get our race winner in the party. Pete, do you want to chat with our third place man, Chopper, who I do believe is in the party right now?
Yeah, Chopper. Yeah. Did you think you'd get P3 out of this, even though you were in P4 as you crossed the line? But penalties seemed to give yourself a podium.
Yeah, I only had 6 seconds with the penalties, so I was hoping that other people would have more. But compromised on quali as well. Only qualifying 11th on the supers, so I made up with third.
The drivers that started on the supers seem to benefit a lot more, and even if you were outside the top 10, the super softs were the tyre to be on.
Yeah, I was always going to do the one stop from the supers to the softs. I didn't think the ultras would last. I got wing damage on lap 1, but it was only yellow, so I managed it until the pit stops. So yeah, made up.
Yeah, I had a feisty race with a few battles going on in the midfield, getting yourself up to P4. So
yeah,
congrats on keeping it clean.
Cheers. Yeah, I loved it, mate. It was a very enjoyable race at a circuit that I don't particularly like. But I've done a bit of practice over the weekend and today as well, which seemed to help. So.
Yeah, and that's paid off.
You think you'll be able to get yourself into the podium coming into the next couple of races?
I've got a habit of getting wing damage on the earlier laps, mate, at the start. So if I can
I'm used to that
not
as well,
do that, if I can stop doing that, then who knows? But you know,
yeah, we could see you on the top step of the podium.
Maybe, who knows? Last year's not a track that I particularly like as well, so I'm gonna have to get the practice in all week again.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, congrats on your P3.
And I could tell that you're gonna do well in Austria after that performance today in France, due to the fact you think you were gonna struggle, but you were doing well. So keep up the good work. But
thank you very much.
The man of the moment, the second week in a row where a reserve driver has actually won a race, but this time it's a different person. It's how do you pronounce your Weiberg? I don't know.
Yeah, Weiberg.
Weiberg. Okay,
Yeah.
well, massive well done on your win then after starting P7, I believe. Tell me, how does that feel? Were you expecting that? Because you were trying to avoid the carnage that happened about laps 2 and 3. Did you think you were gonna end up being P1?
No, I just had the advantage of being on supers at the start, but the first couple of laps was pretty intense with people everywhere. Just tried to make it as clean as possible, but got some wing damage by a car just weaving in front of me. So yeah, but it's just a small one, but could manage to go on. And then when I pitted, I changed the wing, but when I got into the pit, I did 66 instead of 60, so I got 5-second penalty. And I was like, and then when I got out of pits, I need to push now so I can get some time to the next car. But yeah, I pushed hard. Yeah, and it ended good on the top step, so I'm happy. Didn't think that I would be there, to be honest, because I had no practice going into this one. And
is this your first ILR race? Is this your first ILR?
Yeah, I joined yesterday. So
wow,
That's a way to start it off.
That must be a record then.
Yeah, I got the message that I was going to race 2 hours before the race today. So, and I was not home, so I couldn't practice at all. But yeah, it went well.
But that must be insane, because you're one of our drivers of the day, in my opinion, due to the fact that your incredible performance, especially due to the fact you only had short notice so you were going to race. Decent stuff for you. Are you hoping you're going to race next? Are you hoping you're going to race next race in Austria?
Yeah, that would be lovely.
Well, we will have to wait and see. Massive performance, and hopefully a lot of these guys will take note. But I think Chill Drive's still leading the championship, but I will double check. But thank you guys so much for watching ILR4 on PS4. It's been a great race. Any final thoughts, Pete, before we wrap up the stream?
Just congratulate our drivers on their their race performance, managed to keep it cool coming into the final parts of this race, and hopefully you can bring home the bacon again in Austria.
Yes, which unfortunately I can't make due to the fact that I'm doing a show then, but we'll try and find someone to commentate at least 2 people. So you will have a stream next week, do not worry. Make sure you join us then. But don't forget the Xbox tiers are back tomorrow after their break week. They'll be in France like us. So don't forget to tune in then on Twitch or YouTube. And also ILR1 and 2 on PS4 on Sunday as well for those actions. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I've been JessGames95. Pete's been Pete.
And I've been TGIP Plays.
Yeah, that's the one. I was trying to remember your gamer tag there. But anyway, we will see, as far as ILR4 is concerned, we will see you next week. Same time, same place in Austria. Good night.